My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
Jack, what's the state of the Inquisition?
Ambassador Briala has not forgotten her debt. You may count on aid from Orlais.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
That's what we want. Demoralized soldiers fall first. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
We strike Corypheus now, while his people are reeling. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
The guards outside aren't for show.
I'm not here to amuse myself, Inquisitor. Corypheus yearns for something he must not find.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you. This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
Corypheus wants this, and you brought it into my castle.
If the Darkspawn could breach these walls, would he not have already come for you? I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
A useful trick.
For one who knows the way, certainly. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
If most of these mirrors are broken or locked, then what use are they?
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Alluvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon. "'Tis a large fortress, Inquisitor. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit. Occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased."
It's more defensible than Haven. After what happened there.
You chose better than perhaps even you know. The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. I know you did not want me here, Inquisitor. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
Just don't hold anything back. We need every advantage.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the snowy wyvern?
I've got the heart.
Words cannot begin to express my relief. Thank you, Inquisitor. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me. This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling. It should be working by now. My darling? Bastien?
We shouldn't linger.
There's nothing here now. You deliberately sabotaged my formula. Why?
You're manipulative and shallow, and I wanted you to fail.
Well, congratulations, my dear. Your petulance condemned an innocent man to death. It's illuminating to see what sort of woman you really are. How fascinating. We're done here. Do be a dear and run along.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
Are you serious? I did my part. She's dead.
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon? Guilty. Your claims are forfeit. I assume, Josephine, this is enough?
Quite, Inquisitor. And again, my apologies.
With an Illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work, if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
We don't have to worry about this Illuvion if Corypheus isn't alive to use it.
Stopping him thusly would be ideal, if you could manage it.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You follow the orders of your Inquisitor. All three of you. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Leliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus's army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
Remember what Corypheus has done while you plan. Every loss, every setback, every death. Let him learn what it means to be an enemy of the Inquisition.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Make the monsters pay, Captain. Leave none standing.
We shall not flinch, your worship. Not a one of us. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
We're in the middle of a war, Morrigan. Time is short.
If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the alluvion he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
Namelana Sabanale.
The wretch mocks you, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows.
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
Cannot be!
Across the bridge, now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an alluvion, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You were guessing. Corypheus might not be after this alluvion. It might not even be here.
Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
I only recognize a few phrases. Ah, a Belisan, meaning place of sorrow. That must be the well. There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
Vague translations of knowledge and sorrow don't fill me with confidence.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Don't let them pass!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
You forget that army fighting for us out there? Longer we play around, the more Inquisition soldiers die. There's a hole. Jump in.
Performing these rituals may mean the difference between reaching the well before Corypheus's minions and not at all.
We don't need to reach the well first if we stop them before they find it.
Reach the well before they do and their plan is ended.
And your plan?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I should take your word that this is altruism and not hunger for power.
Yes. Far easier to believe the Witch of the Wilds full of greed. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
Is your real goal the power inside this well?
Yes, if that is the only way to preserve it. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Will you abandon these rituals in...
At last. Let's find this well and go.
'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I won't be interrogated at sword point. Declare yourself.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
If the Well of Sorrows is a source of power, now is when it's needed.
It is not power. Not such as you could use. Even if I permitted it.
Yet Corypheus's minions are here to claim it. Unless you've defeated them already.
We shall fight them as we shall fight you. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped. Even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
No!
Morgan! So close. The well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor. The trials you set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all.
Your lust for power has blinded you, Calpurnia. Corypheus is using you.
Think on your own folly before inventing more. You serve your people, you have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge. Power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
So if I take that power before him, Corypheus will be left empty-handed.
Simple fool. I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
Once you've drunk from the well, Corypheus will use a ritual on you. You'll be a mindless tool, enslaved to his will.
Where I come from, idle tales must be proven.
Here, the page with his binding ritual. He tried it on your master, Erasthenes.
How could you know? And these runes, no one has written in these since... He made so many promises, and everyone a lie! Venhidus Cavern Vas! He was to give Tevinter a true leader. If Corypheus would misuse me, he'd misuse them too. I was blind.
You know the truth of Corypheus's betrayal. You'll die knowing it.
Come then. One last sacrifice! If I fall, it will not be by your hand.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the Sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Calpurnia to use the well. Without her, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
Look around you. Everything your people were. It's already gone.
It is.
Why remain? Why perform a duty without purpose?
Our duty is all that remains. Those who drank from the Vira Belasan paid a great price, bound to the service of Mythal for eternity.
You claim Mythal was truly a god?
To you, it shall make no difference.
Think maybe we were the bad guys?
And what if the well was destroyed? Or this entire temple? Are you so eager to die for sympathy's sake?
I'm glad you had the presence of mind to stop him.
He was a slave to duty, when he could have been so much more. You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Don't go any closer, Morrigan.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
I do not like this. She is far too eager.
I do not hide it. To restore lost knowledge, I would risk much.
And what would you do with it? You could be worse than Corypheus.
So, paralyze yourself for fear of what might be? I can give nothing but my word. Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
What's to stop you from taking the knowledge and leaving?
My word. If that seems insufficient, Corypheus threatens all, even myself. He must be stopped.
And who stops you?
I, Inquisitor, seek neither immortality nor your life.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
This knowledge stays with the Inquisition.
I am forever balked by those who believe they know better than I. Drink if you will, for the sake of us all, but steel your will to do it.
Why am I here? Corypheus, a Magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. You will give me what I demand!
Let's keep that up.
The Illuvian!
Through the mirror!
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not.
He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
I hear something.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
I have the well's power, Morrigan, not you.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon isn't an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed.
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but with his dragon...
I need to summon Mythal.
Whatever Mythal was, goddess or myth?
There. An altar in the wilderness. That's where I need to go.
I see you are determined. So be it.
Are you certain of this?
No. We must be ready for anything. A trap, or worse.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
My dear, I know you must have a great deal on your mind right now, but I need to speak with you. You know as well as I how far the Inquisition's influence has spread, and how desperate the Grand Clerics have become. Our opinion will be instrumental in their election of the new Divine.
You think the Grand Clerics will care what the Inquisition wants?
They pray for the Maker's guidance and see you standing as a beacon. The Inquisition may not be invited to their vote, but our actions will certainly influence the Grand Clerics. To sit on the Sunburst throne, a candidate should have grace, charm, and a will of solid steel. Cassandra may lack the first two, but unless you can think of someone better, she is the strongest choice.
Leliana might be a better choice than Cassandra, don't you think?
Leliana is a well-meaning fool. She will do irreparable harm to countless people in the name of freedom. She proposes to abolish the circles with nothing but a solemn promise from mages not to murder children. When an angry mage lashes out inside a tower, villages aren't destroyed. The circle protects us all. Mages will die and take ordinary men with them in a war that cannot be won. Consider carefully, Inquisitor. Everything we do is a sign from the Maker to those who seek one. It's been quite the momentous day, hasn't it, my dear? How do you feel? It's not every day one absorbs ancient elven magic.
I've never felt better. I feel ready to take on Corypheus.
Glad to hear it, my dear. No doubt there will be side effects later, but one thing at a time. The pieces are nearly in place. We'll soon strike against Corypheus directly. I suggest you stop dawdling and take the fight to him as soon as possible.
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tevinter. Once this is done. If we're still alive. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
If that's what you want to do, then go.
No, I didn't think it mattered to you. It might surprise you to know that you're the one who inspired me. You're shaping the world, for good or ill. How could I aspire to do any less? If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's hope even for my homeland, I would do anything.
I was pondering who might be divine, and it suddenly occurred to me. Is it so ridiculous for the Grand Clerics to support me? Why shouldn't they?
If you were divine, what would you do?
Change things. Change everything. No more circles. The mages will be free. The Chantry will accept them as the Maker's children. In fact, it will accept everyone. Elves, dwarves, even Canary. Why exclude them? The Chantry allows our differences to tear us apart, instead of teaching us how we are the same.
I think you would make a good divine.
I am glad to hear it. Your support may persuade the Grand Clerics to vote in my favor. Justinia wanted the Chantry to grow, but her reforms never took root. She was held back by tradition and was too gentle to force change. I won't make that mistake.
I don't see why you'd bother.
Because I owe it to Justinia. She started the work, and I will finish it. Justinia thought the circles needed to change. But why stop there? The Chantry alienated potential allies by brutalizing elves and belittling dwarves. If we could bring them into the fold, wouldn't we have peace? There are those who would cling to the old ways, of course. But they will see. I would make them see. But I've rambled on too long. I am not divine. Yet.
How does it feel to have the power of an ancient elven goddess flowing through you? Is it everything you hoped?
I don't feel any different.
I will try to suppress my surprise. Nevertheless, the power is yours, until Mythal chooses otherwise. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
The war proved that we can't go back to the way things were. I'll try to help this world move forward.
You would risk everything you have in the hope that the future is better. What if it isn't? What if you wake up to find the future you shaped is worse than what was?
If that happens, it happens. We're doing the best we can. That's all we can do.
You're right. Thank you.
For what?
I do not agree with everything you have done, Inquisitor. Your actions have been short-sighted. You have made mistakes. But you never give up. You never stop trying. Even when the consequences are grave. For your determination, I offer thanks. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
We can talk more once Corypheus is dead.
I hope so.
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The Archdemon might have been a real threat to our army, but it flew off once we turned the tide. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
He has nothing left to throw at us.
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, and you have yet to fight him one-on-one. But he will come. You will get your chance.
If he tries, he'll regret it.
He underestimates you, as most do. Not long ago, this was impossible to imagine. You, successful against all odds, victory close at hand. The time has come to consider what will come next.
I assume you'll be leaving then.
You caught me in a poor moment before. I do not drink.
It sounded like you spoke your mind.
We all have moments of doubt. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. Your strength got us here, Inquisitor. I shall not forget.
In this the truth is found. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
A prayer for you?
I hardly know.
Then why that prayer?
It used to mean something. I thought it might still. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. I swore to myself that I would be free of the Order, free of Lyrium. I prayed to Andraste for the strength to endure it. What have I done if not faltered?
You left the Order. Isn't that enough?
I hope to regain some control over my life. I'm not sure I have. Forgive me. I swore to serve the Inquisition. I should not question what that entails. Inquisitor.
Oh, hi, yeah. Listen, stand there. Right there. Now, about Mythal.
Sarah, I don't know what reaction you want, but can this be it so we can be done?
All right. So maybe it's still you. Someone needed to do something. I mean, you went wading into a well of sorrows. Who hears that and thinks, well, dunk a butt, let's have a go? I mean, that whole place. Clearly demon bait. Top to bottom. It makes messing with their relics real stupid. So, test done, you're still you. We can leave these lies behind.
You seem pretty certain. You don't believe anything from Mythal.
Course not. What, I should believe all that stuff? Because elves? I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what? There can't be a bunch of gods, and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by dead people who failed. Mythal is a ruin full of demons. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
The evidence is hard to ignore. I believe it.
No, now you're stupid. You can't think that because it's stupid.
But everything we saw.
Why believe it? Because Abelas looked weird. If that's all it takes, Cariffi's shitheel is full of lumpy truth. You're not even an elf. Why are you being so damned elfy? You're the frigging herald of Andraste. Every time you open your mouth, you'll sound like an idiot.
Well, it works for you, so I'm in good company.
Words are dumb. Haven't had an argument yet I can't end with arrows. Let me know when you want me to discuss it with Cariffi shit.
Corypheus died, and then he didn't. That's why he always felt wrong, like he didn't fit inside himself. He wears another man's life. I thought dying was forever.
We'll make it forever. We're working on a plan to kill Corypheus permanently.
We still need to get the amulet working. I won't face Corypheus without it. I can't. But is it him? Is he real? If a man can be dead and then not... There was a young man. He died alone. I didn't know how to help. Could I have saved him?
Corypheus is using his connection to the Blight to make himself immortal. You couldn't do that.
His hands were bruised from beating on the wall. It was dark, like the cabinet where he hid to escape his father. His belly hurt like knives, throat cracked dry. He was alone. I pushed through and held his hand. It was all I could do. He said, "Thank you." Thank you.